Here's a quick discussion on tempering bamboo and the way that I like to temper my bamboo. This would apply only to belly side lambs. So if you're using bamboo as your backing, tempering is not something that I would recommend. Tempering bamboo improves compression qualities more over tension qualities. So in the event of using as a backing, I would just use good dry bamboo. But in this instance, we are using this particular piece of bamboo as the belly piece. My riser piece basically ends where I have drawn out these lines. So just on the other sides of the nodes, as you can see. So I'm not going to worry so much about tempering the grip area, because the grip area doesn't need to, we're not worried about compression in this area. This should not be bending in the first place. The only thing we would accomplish by tempering is making it harder to glue up, because it becomes more brittle and less flexible. And we don't want to lose that quality in our bamboo at the grip. Okay, we want to instill that quality in the working part of the limb. Okay, so that would be kind of the point of these marks here. And if you're doing two separate pieces, I would concentrate that tempering in the area that goes beyond the riser. Now then, I go about tempering what would be considered the glue side. This is the part that's going to be glued to the core right here, and we're going to temper this surface and this surface only. And the reason for that is we want to get a good temper on the bamboo, but we don't want to take away from our ability to then temper the outer surface. This becomes your exposed belly, right? And when it comes to tillering an all bamboo or a bamboo back and belly bow, you've got to be able to rely on heat to help you with some of those tillering adjustments. And if you temper the exposed belly side, you've pretty much taken that opportunity away from yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to temper from just the glue line. So we're going to get a good temper on the bamboo itself while maintaining just a little margin of opportunity to then temper for tillering on this side. So we're not going to heat this side directly. It's going to get hot, there's no doubt, but we're not going to temper it directly. And this is going to be done with a heat gun. Just slow movement across this thing. If you want to just focus even on one spot and slowly move down your limb, so be it. But what we're watching for, what we want to look for, is the change in color. So it's going to be the coloration change that makes all the difference here. I have primarily only heat treated or tempered to about here. You can see that the water stain from I had a water stain here because I tried to steam and deflex the grip area. And that water staining, you can kind of see a little staining over on this side too. That water staining has gotten much darker. You can tell it's reacting to the heat. You can also pick up on some of this sort of darker color starting to appear. All right, you can see how it stays kind of white up here. And as we approach the areas that have been cooked, so to speak, it's getting a little darker brown. Okay, and the idea here is it's very similar to like heat treating the belly of a whitewood bow. You really want it hot just on this one surface, not all the way through to the following surface. So we're not heating and bending, we are just cooking the one surface really well. And it tempers it to the interior of the bow once it's all glued up. So the piece is tempered, it's the belly lamb, you get a little better compression without giving up that tillering ability for heat treat to the extreme edge of your belly out here. Now one last piece, and this is very important. When you do this and you're driving moisture out of this piece of bamboo, what happens is you begin to take on what we would call lenticular shape to the limb itself. It actually crowns a little bit. The edges shrink more than the center. And if you have ground this to a flat surface, it will no longer be flat. It's going to be rounded. So once you're done heat tempering this interior section, you're going to need to take it back to your grinder, grind it smooth again, smooth and flat. Make sure that you still maintain a good tiller to the piece, and then you're ready to glue up. So that is how I go about tempering the interior piece of my bamboo on a bamboo back and belly bow.